think I was talking to Rashid as well about this a couple of days ago.
So Rashid is the other business partner, right?
Yes.
He's here.
Yeah, he's here. I was speaking to Rashid about the same, around the same thing. So before COVID, everybody's business was thriving. Bicycle tours, more especially, were doing quite well. And then when COVID was leaning onto us, I remember we had visitors from America, I think, and they are of Chinese, but they grew up in America and all that, right? So they're American. But because we didn't, I say we, the community of Soweto, were not very much educated about the COVID on one, what is it, how do you get it, and all that. So Abantu, they just said, hey, COVID. So I remember cycling with the visitors, and kids from school, they're like, yo, like corona. You know what I mean?
We laugh, but
so, I mean, it's a sad situation, but I mean, it's past.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, that was then that I made a conscious decision about, look, I'm going to stop my tours. I'm going to refund wonke umuntu that has booked, and we'll pick this up when this thing blows off, right? Because I just felt, at that moment, I felt about, I'm also responsible for making the community feel comfortable, right? So if I'm bringing visitors and we're not clued up about this corona thing, then the community is not comfortable. And as soon as umuntu, I mean, as soon as umuntu akhohlela laphaya, engidlule nama-tourist wami laphaya, then Mpumi lethi corona elokishini. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm very much aware of that as well. So I was like, you know what? There's no point of me trying to force the whole thing. I know other big tour companies in Soweto, they went on deep down until like a week before lockdown with their tours, and the community was not comfortable. You know, they are protected and stuff. But my experience was, when that happened, I was like, look, I don't want to make the community feel uncomfortable. One. Two, I don't want to make visitors feel uncomfortable, because also they ask us when someone shouts something, hello Mlumu.
What does
that
mean?
Yeah, what does this mean? You know what I mean? And I'm not a person that lies, so I'm not going to say, they mean nice hair. You know what I mean? Also, they're saying hello white person, you know? So I just didn't want to put myself in that situation. So I stopped against my tours for that moment. And then manje, after COVID, only last week we had visitors from Switzerland, not 2 weeks back. And then they were saying that their experience also coming into the country was a bit hectic. You know, they had to quarantine for, I think, a couple of days, about 10 days. But they did produce their certificate from, I think they came via Dubai or something. But to get here, they had to go through other countries. But they produced everything that they had to produce. They quarantined. And yeah, but it's picking up slowly. But with international clients, it's only been those people. And then what's nice now is that we're getting a lot of local people wanting to do bicycle tours, which is amazing, because the whole point of this is for us to showcase our community to neighboring townships, you know, whether to inspire them to do the same in their townships. That would be great.
How do you feel like when people say like tourism just generally is not friendly towards South Africans, specifically tourism across South Africa?
Yeah.
Let there be township tourism, Kruger National tourism, but it's not cost friendly when it comes to South African citizens, you know. That's why I think we brought in the short left situation, but
which also
which is kind of shaky also.
Yeah. I'd say SA Tourism just needs to pay Book Ibhoni to do the whole thing.
Shoot your shot.
It's that simple. They must just give us the funds. We'll put everything together for them to make it affordable for South Africans, because we work from a place of understanding where we come from first and foremost. We're Soweto. We know what we can afford. We know what we can't afford, right? But at the same time, we don't disrespect people based on price, right? So my discounts with books, it's books that benefit the community and also to your pocket, because I understand that I'm not going to pay Mpumi 750 to get a bicycle for 2 hours at Luxin. Where else I can call my cousin John yeah, and Ambonisi Logish.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the mentality that we have as South Africans in general, because we are all related. Singabantu. You know, if I go to Cape Town, chances are I'm gonna call my cousin first to say, "Yo, dude, are you around?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he's not around, then I'll go on the platforms and search for. You know, so that's the mentality. So for people that say it's pricey, it's true, it is, right? But they must, get with Book Ibhoni, they'll be fine.
So what are the key lessons? I mean, this is one of outside the credit crisis that happened 2008, right? This pandemic has been a very serious pandemic that has really hit businesses, specifically small businesses, very hard.
Yeah.
What are the key lessons that you feel as a small business you've learned with this whole pandemic happening?
Yeah, well, I've learned about, Abantu would support anyone who's putting effort, because all the small businesses that were hit by COVID, when they added an extra service, which in most cases was delivery, right? People supported, you know what I mean? So it kind of showed me, but yes, we can have all these fancy businesses and whatnot, but if in the time of need, you come with a service that will service the people, Abantu will pay.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what I took from this, because I mean, we then added the bicycle courier services, because amabicycle were they had no tourists to ride on. So we then decided, well, look, let's offer the service of delivering essential goods using amabicycle. And people supported. People wanted Iko to move from one point to another. They wanted amakeke. You know what I mean? So for me, when that happened, it showed that, we can say whatever we want to say about the township market, but I want to do support. It's just unfortunate about they don't trust the online transactions, which is something I think whoever can come up with a solution for that, they'll be rich for life, basically. But outside of that, people support. I mean, we're getting calls from like NGOs that couldn't travel from there to here to donate food and whatnot. They'll tell us, okay, cool, we'll make the transaction. You guys can go to Emaponya Mall and buy this groceries for Umakulu, So for us, then it shows, but there's always people willing to support. Yeah.